Hello. So today we're going to talk about the financial freedom number. I put it in a text yesterday. What is your financial freedom number? Do you know what the number you're supposed to reach in order to be financially free? Meaning your investments, your savings that you've accumulated over time. Um, what does that number mean for you, or where you need to be regarding being financially free? So I talk about investing. I talk about savings. You can have a 401k, right, with your employer. You can have a Roth IRA or IRA outside of your employment, right? I'll talk about Roth as well. You can have it in your 401k. You can have it in an IRA. You could be saving, whether that's cash savings, high yield savings, or you could be in treasuries, Treasury Direct. So there's many ways to save, many ways to invest. The top three brokers is Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard. So take a look at those. But what is your financial freedom number? And today I'm going to tell you how you calculate that, right? And see how far you've come regarding reaching that number. So I have an example, but first there's an exercise you need to do. You need to figure out what your monthly bills are, what your projected monthly bills would be. And I have some examples of categories to look at. So you talk about housing, you need a place to stay. We talk about food, you need to be able to eat and dine out. Transportation, you need to be able to drive. Insurance and healthcare. You're still going to have insurance and healthcare even at once you hit retirement age, because you still have to pay a Medicare premium. Insurance and healthcare. So utilities and internet, entertainment and travel, and miscellaneous. So miscellaneous bucket, I would do a percentage of whatever your monthly bills are to come up with miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is exactly what it means. You don't know what it's going to be until it hits, right? Dentist visit, auto repair, it could be anything. So you want to be able to be prepared for that and have a miscellaneous bucket. All right. So in this example, let's just say the total, you take your total monthly bills, right? And once you have that total, you times it by 12. That'll be your yearly amount. So it's 12 months in a year. So let's just say the total is $70,000 a year. I'm going to give you an example. So your financial freedom formula is the 4% rule. And the reason why you say 4% is because that's the maximum you should be able to take out to last for 25 or more years, right? So in order to get to that 4% rule, you need to take the total to $70,000 divided by 0.04, and it'll give you a number. Or you can times it by 25. So you could take 70,000 times 25, which is, like I said, 25 years. And you'll still come up with the same number, which is $1,750,000. So that means you have that money in investments, you have that money in cash, you have that money in treasuries, wherever the case may be. That is the number. That's your financial freedom number. Congratulations if you reach that and if you make that kind of money. Now, if you want to be conservative, you can use you can use 3%. And if you take 70,000 divided by 0.03, you come up with a bigger number, which is $2,333,333. So I give you the 3%, I give you the 4%. Some people want to be more conservative than the 4% rule and make sure that there's enough in their bank accounts to cover more than 20 plus years of retirement. So you can use 3% as well. So now that you've figured out what that financial number is, here are some things that you want to do to achieve financial freedom, right? You want to increase that gap between your income and expenses to have investable money, right? So you hear folks talk about asking for a raise at work, getting promoted, having a side hustle. So you want to have a lot of income come in so that your expenses doesn't exceed your income. Then you're wealthy. It doesn't matter if you make $1,000,000. If you spend $999,999, you only plus $1, right? So you want to make sure that your income exceeds your expenses and that you're investing your money. Eliminate high interest debt. Invest consistently, right? And when we talk about that, We talk about automation, right? So automatically putting money into your 401k, automatically directing money to your IRA, automatically directing money to Treasury Direct to buy treasuries or a taxable brokerage account, right? And protect your plan. So we talked about miscellaneous a little bit, but you need to have an emergency fund. And it's recommended 6 to 12 months. I know that's tough, but what I would say is open up a high yield savings account and just direct some money into an account for emergencies. They will come up. It's not when. It's not if, it's when. So those are some practical things I wanted you to follow there. Gonna hit you with a Bible verse, but before then, I want you to hit me with your financial freedom number. I want to know what your financial freedom number is once you do the calculations, and how you feel about that. Do you feel positive or negative? And if you're negative, what are you going to do about it, right? You can't cry over spilled milk. It is what it is. So, but you have to know your number and know how to close the gap. All right, I got to hit you with a Bible verse. It talks about true security comes from God, not money. Matthew 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. All right, thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.